Exclusive contract novel of Feilu Fiction Network. 8-year-old boy fried rice to feed a group of college students. Su Can traveled through parallel worlds and found himself an orphan. At the age of 8, he woke up to the food system and resolutely rejected the adoption proposal of the welfare home, choosing to set up a stall at the university gate to sell fried rice. As a result, as soon as we opened, we conquered countless college students just by virtue of a bowl of plain fried rice with eggs. Wocao, what kind of immortal egg fried rice is so delicious, isn't it? Child brother, you are my god. Remember me, kid, I grew up eating your fried rice. Compared with the expensive and unpalatable food in the canteen, Su Can's 8 yuan fried rice is selling like crazy. Various TV stations rushed to report, but in the end, the president had no choice but to set up a separate stall in the university, specifically inviting Su Can to take charge. The following year, countless college students chose to apply to the university where Su Can was located. Have you heard about it? There's a kid from Jiangcheng University who has a superb cooking skill, and even the chefs at state banquets can't help but praise him. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Crossing Time and Becoming an Orphan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Crossing Time and Becoming an Orphan. Unfortunately, Su Can, despite the doctor's full efforts in rescuing her, unfortunately, I still couldn't snatch your parents back from the hands of Prince Yan. You have two options now, one is to be raised by the welfare institution according to the arrangement of the government. Another option is to choose a reliable relative as your guardian. Longhua, Jiangcheng Hospital. The dean in a white coat looked at the little boy in front of him, who was only 8 years old. There was a hint of sympathy on his face, and he said helplessly. He knew his words were cruel, but this was a fact before Su Can. The little boy lying on the hospital bed seems to have not yet recovered from the previous accident. His gaze appeared somewhat dull, and there was no expression on his pale face. No one knows. At this moment, the owner of this young body is already Su Can from another parallel world. Am I traveling? Su Can silently thought in her heart. It took about half a minute for him to finally merge the memories in his mind. I have figured out my current situation. Yes. He has traveled through time. Traversing into the body of an 8-year-old child. And in yesterday's car accident, he lost his parents forever. That is to say, from this moment on, Su Can became an orphan. Although as a traveler, Su Can doesn't have much affection for her parents in this world. But the departure of his beloved still inevitably made him feel a bit sad. After calming down a bit. Uncle Dean, thank you for your kindness. I will arrange my own affairs myself, Su Can said in a hoarse voice. Also, when can I be discharged from the hospital? Seeing Su Can's resolute expression, the dean was momentarily stunned and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Sure enough, everything is fate, not at all dependent on people. After experiencing such a major upheaval, there was no trace of childlike innocence on the face of this 8-year-old child, as if he had grown up overnight. You don't have any major health issues. After a brief observation for 2 days, if there are no issues, you can be discharged from the hospital. By the way, Su Can, this is my business card. If your relatives who adopt you are not good to you in the future, or if someone bullies you in the welfare home, or something like that, you can call me anytime. After saying these words, the dean hurriedly left. 3 days later. Su Can was discharged from the hospital and, with the help of her uncles and aunts, successfully held a funeral for her parents. However, after the funeral, some very unpleasant things happened. Even the head of one's own parents has not yet passed, and the bones are still cold. Su Can's uncles and aunts, who were relatives of his father and mother respectively, had a big fight over the distribution of gifts. The reason is that among the people who came to attend the funeral this time, some were their parents' colleagues and college classmates. Due to my parents graduating from the same university and working in the same company at the same time after graduation. So, the relatives on both sides insist that the gift money for these people should belong to either the father's side or the mother's side. The two sides argued fiercely, and even almost got into a fight several times. And all of this, Su Can watched coldly from the side. He is not a true 8-year-old child. In his young body, he is actually the soul of an adult. Finally, he couldn't bear it anymore and finally spoke up. Uncle and aunt, since you can't make up your mind about this money, you don't know how to allocate it. Why don't you leave it to me for safekeeping? Human relationships need to be repaid, these people are all my parents' colleagues and classmates. In the future, if there is any red or white celebration in their family, are you willing to attend a banquet and pay this money when they invite you? Su Can said coldly. After he finished speaking, several talented individuals finally nodded and agreed to the arrangement. In their eyes, Su Can is just an 8-year-old child. What opinions can he have? Let Su Can take this money, as long as he can fight for the custody of this child, then will all this money be in his own family's pocket. So this matter came to an end, and the funeral of my parents barely came to a satisfactory conclusion. After burying their parents, these relatives all approached Su Can and talked to him about the issue of adoption, both inside and outside of words. And various conditions and promises were given. But most people indirectly asked Su Can about the house left by his parents, which still had several years of unpaid loans. Regarding all of this, Su Can's mouth was full of ambiguity, saying that he was not clear either. But in my heart, I couldn't help but sneer. One by one, they all sound good, probably because of the house left by their parents in the center of Jiangcheng City, with a 5-year loan remaining to be repaid, right? He has already made up his mind. These relatives are not good things, he will definitely not accept anyone's adoption. After all, the feeling of being under someone else's supervision is not pleasant. As for the welfare home, Su Can didn't really want to go, after all, it was a bit boring to have him hang out with a group of little brats. Finally, after all the relatives left, Su Can sat alone in a deserted big house, starting to count her assets and plan her future life. Firstly, the gift money received during this funeral. The total amount is around 200,000 yuan, but unfortunately, the gift money given by those colleagues and classmates is only around 50,000 yuan. And the other 150,000 yuan was divided among those uncles and aunts. However, Su Can doesn't care about this money. After all, they spent a lot of money on funeral arrangements, preparing banquets, and other procedures. They took this 150,000, so they took it. And the biggest inheritance left by my parents is this house in the center of Jiangcheng City. The location is pretty good, with several universities next to it. The price of the house has risen to over 10,000 square meters in the past 2 years. I have about 5 years left to repay my loan, and I have to pay off over 5,000 yuan in a month. And over the years, parents have not left much savings to support their own education, monthly mortgage payments, and family expenses. Adding the compensation from the company, Su Can calculated that the total amount was less than 50,000 yuan. Add up the gift money given by the parents, classmates, and colleagues before. It looks like there's only 100,000 yuan left. For now, there is no need to worry about mortgage and living issues. But Su Can was a bit worried. If she had chosen to start her studies in elementary school step by step, she might not have left any of the 100,000 yuan after finishing middle school. And he has also gone through 10 years of hard study. I really don't want to walk this old road again from elementary school to high school. And just when Su Can didn't know what to do, suddenly, there was a ding sound in my ear. Divine level food system, successfully bound. Chapter 2. Divine egg fried rice out of the pot. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Divine egg fried rice out of the pot. Is it a system? Hear this sound. Su Can couldn't help but show a hint of surprise on his face. In his past life, he had also read many online articles and naturally understood what a system was. I didn't expect to travel with my system. Divine-level food system. The function of this system is to provide the host with the ability to see through the quality of ingredients at a glance and an absolute sense of taste. When the host provides delicious food to customers and makes them feel happy, they can earn food points. After accumulating enough food points, you can start a lottery in the system mall. Get various generous rewards. Considering that the host is activating this system for the first time, we will reward beginners with a large gift package. The novice's big gift package contains magic egg fried rice skills and a constitution-strengthening medicine. Do you need to open it now? Divine-level egg fried rice skills. After use, you can master all the skills of making egg fried rice and reach the perfect level. Of course, the taste of the finished egg fried rice still depends on the ingredients selected by the host and the care of the host when frying. However, as long as this technique is used, even if the host uses ordinary ingredients and rough cooking techniques, it can also make an excellent craft to kill any bowl of egg fried rice on the market. Physique enhancement medication. After taking it, it can strengthen the user's physique. For example, if the host is an 8-year-old child's physique, after taking this medicine, it will gain strength similar to that of an adult. Not bad. Su Can didn't expect the system to even give away a beginner gift package. Especially with this physical strengthening potion, it's even more amazing. Don't look at what food system he has awakened, but if it weren't for this physical strengthening potion. With the strength of an 8-year-old boy, I'm afraid he can't even shake the pan, let alone fried rice. The awakening of the system instantly boosted Su Can's confidence. The next day, early in the morning, people from the welfare home came over to visit. And Su Can politely declined the other party's kindness. He doesn't want to go to the welfare home to see how others live. After seeing off the staff of the welfare home, Su Can ran to the vegetable market, and as expected, with the help of the eye of food, the quality of various ingredients was presented to him one by one. A plain and unremarkable tomato, produced in a vegetable greenhouse. A stale potato that has been left unsold for several days and is about to sprout. A low-quality egg is a production line product from a feed chicken farm. Glancing at the ingredients at the first stall at the entrance of the market, Su Can shook her head in disappointment. And the shop owner is a greasy and bald middle-aged man. Even warmly greeted Su Can. Hey, help your family buy groceries, kid. Let's take a look. The ingredients here are all the best, guaranteed to be fresh and fair to all. And Su Can is also not good at exposing others. I could only smile awkwardly and continue walking into the market. Until he turned around a few times and passed by an old woman's booth huddled in a small corner. Finally came to a stop. A high-quality farmhouse cabbage, irrigated with natural fertilizers and free from any harmful chemicals. A high-quality farmhouse egg, produced by farmhouse chickens running around the mountains, all grown up eating corn and insects, absolutely without any earthy smell. When you see these lines of description, Su Can's eyes lit up instantly and he quickly asked, "Auntie, how do you sell these tacky eggs?" And perhaps due to poor business, that lady has been keeping her eyes closed and recuperating. Upon hearing Su Can speak, he quickly opened his eyes and a smile instantly bloomed on his face. The wrinkled old face looks like it has been weathered by the wind and frost. Oh, you little kid's eyes are so sharp. You can tell at a glance that I'm selling authentic local eggs. What, your mother taught you how to buy groceries? Hear this sentence. Su Can felt a bit embarrassed, and her smile dimmed. With a bitter smile, he said, "My mother is no longer here." As soon as the lady heard this, a hint of guilt immediately appeared in her eyes. He quickly slapped himself and comforted, saying, "Oh, look at my old lady's broken mouth. Which pot doesn't open and which pot doesn't open? Poor little child, why did you lose your mother at such a young age?" What will you do in the future? Su Can waved her hand and said, "It's okay, Auntie. I can live on my own. Today, I'm here to buy some groceries and cook." Hear this sentence. The lady finally calmed down a bit and quickly held a few eggs in her hand, saying, "Can you buy them? I'll sell them to others for 2 yuan each, 18 yuan per kilogram. If you want to buy, I'll charge you $1.51. If it's 1 pound, I'll charge you 15 yuan. Upon hearing these words, Su Can quickly waved his hand and said, "No need, Auntie. You don't need to pity me. You can pay as much as you need for 1 pound. I won't lose you. It's not easy for you to work hard selling vegetables to earn a little money." Finally. After a dispute between Su Can and Auntie. Finally, I bought a bag of eggs for 16 yuan per kilogram. Before leaving, the aunt even gave Su Can a handful of scallions, which saved her money. And there is also rice at home. Today, Su Can didn't come out to purchase, he just bought some ingredients to try his craft. About 10 minutes later, Su Can returned home carrying a bag of scallions and eggs. For rice, there is just leftover food brought back from the banquet, so there is no need to steam it now. Say it again. Egg fried rice is really fried with leftovers. And today it's made for myself to eat, so the steps can be more refined. Firstly, wear gloves to gently break up the leftover food in the bowl and set it aside for later use. Then cut the scallions into sections and set them aside for later use. The food system comes with master-level knife skills, so Su Can doesn't have to worry about cutting vegetables at all. Then it's time to prepare the egg mixture. However, Su Can's cooking today is a little different from the common egg fried rice. He prepared 2 earthen eggs and 2 small bowls. When beating eggs, the egg whites and yolks were separated and poured into 2 small bowls. Afterwards, mix the egg yolks well, and a bowl of golden-colored egg mixture is ready. The next step is to start cooking oil, which is called a sliding pan. The purpose is to prevent sticking to the pan when fried rice is later. After the entire bottom of the iron pot is evenly coated with a layer of hot oil, pour out the excess hot oil from the pot. Then add the appropriate base oil again, add egg white, and stir-fry until fragrant and cooked. After stir-frying the egg white until fragrant, also pour it out for later use. Then add the base oil again. At this point, add the prepared egg yolk mixture and stir-fry until cooked. After the egg yolks are fully cooked, the next step is to add rice. Mix the rice and egg yolks together and stir-fry until cooked, then add the previously cooked egg whites and continue to stir-fry. Add various seasonings such as soy sauce, salt, chicken essence, etc. in sequence. Finally, sprinkle a handful of scallions and you can take it out of the pot. Chapter 3. Mom, it's so delicious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Mom, it's so delicious. Looking at the crystal clear rice placed on the plate. Each one is wrapped in a slightly shiny oil glow. And golden and pure white egg whites and egg whites are interspersed in it, making it particularly eye-catching. Add green onions. From the perspective of appearance alone, this bowl of egg fried rice has reached the visual peak. Exquisite as a work of art. Su Can did not hesitate. I've been busy these past few days and haven't been able to have a good meal. And at this moment, the tempting aroma has been wandering between the nostrils. Even more so, it made his fingers twitch. Quickly scoop a bite with a small spoon, put it in your mouth, and savor it carefully. Clear and fragrant rice wafts between the lips and teeth. A mixture of yellow and white eggs with different flavors. The burnt aroma of egg yolk and the rich and mellow egg flavor. The smooth and sweet taste of protein. Adding scallions perfectly relieves greasiness. In an instant. Let this feast of taste reach its peak. Although Su Can has already awakened her absolute sense of taste at this moment. But it must also be acknowledged. This is definitely the best egg fried rice I have ever eaten. Although when it comes to setting up a stall to sell fried rice, it is impossible that every bowl is so elaborately made. But even for the quick fried egg fried rice, Su Can is absolutely sure to surpass any roadside stall near the university town. Think of it here. Su Can finally felt much more at ease. The cost of a bowl of rice is probably around 1 yuan, which is astronomical. And a plain egg is about 1.5 yuan. Plus various seasonings such as oil and salt, as well as various costs such as gas and electricity. A bowl of fried rice with eggs costs only about 3 yuan at most. At present, a bowl of egg fried rice can be sold for 8 yuan at a roadside stall near the university town. That is to say, a portion of fried rice with eggs can earn a profit of about 5 yuan. If you can sell 100 bowls a day, then you can earn at least 10,000 yuan a month. It's enough for me to live on, and if I work hard and save some money, I may even be able to pay off my mortgage 1 or 2 years in advance. Su Can hates the days when she wakes up every day and has to work hard for a few thousand yuan mortgage. As the saying goes, without debt, one is light. Thank you to the system for giving me such a self-reliance ability. Think of it here. Su Can quickly cleaned the rice cooker at home and steamed a full pot of rice, then fell asleep with satisfaction. Wake up the next day. Su Can first poured out the steamed rice from the rice cooker last night and let it cool in a basin. 1 pot is definitely not enough, he steamed another whole pot before going out. Then I left my home and headed to the second-hand market, preparing to purchase a 3-wheeled small dining car. After a morning of selection and bargaining with the boss, I successfully bought a 95% new second-hand stall car for 4,000 yuan. With the addition of various other tools, everything adds up to about 5,000 yuan, and finally a series of things for the stall are ready. After buying the electric 3-wheeled dining car, Su Can ran to the previous market and found the lady selling vegetables. I spent more than 200 yuan to purchase various ingredients, and everything was finally ready. Just wait for the night stand. At 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Near Jiangcheng University. Su Can parked the 3-wheeled electric vehicle steadily on the roadside. Then he prepared all kinds of pots, bowls, ladles, pots, and ingredients one by one. Finally, light up the simple signboard, Children's Egg Fried Rice, designed by myself. Everything is already ready. Su Can's first stall officially began. And at this moment, the roadside is already surrounded by various snack vendors and dining carts. When I saw Su Can, a bigger kid, running a stall, adults couldn't help but sigh. I don't know whose child this is. He's so sensible, he only knows how to help his parents set up a stall at the age of 7 or 8. A kind-hearted shop owner came over to inquire about Su Can with various drinks and snacks. Do you want to eat something? But they were all politely declined by Su Can one by one. Around 6.30. The students at Jiangcheng University have all finished classes. It's time for dinner. Although Jiangcheng University has opened several canteens, but it still cannot stop students from yearning for extracurricular snacks. As the bustling crowd walked out of the school gate, soon, Su Can won his first batch of customers today. A group of boys wearing vests and sweating profusely searched around among the vendors. It looks like sports students who have just finished playing basketball, eager to go out and search for delicious food. And at this point, the tall boy with an inch in the head, upon seeing Su Can's stall, seemed to have discovered something on the side of the new world. Quickly speaking excitedly to his friends around him. Children's Eggs Fried Rice. I haven't seen this before, it should be a newly opened one. Do you guys want to try it? The result was unanimous rejection from several friends. Forget it, Lao Li. I've been playing basketball all afternoon, and my brothers are so hungry that their chests are pressing against their backs. I still want to go to the whole self-service barbecue, a bowl of egg fried rice. How can I satisfy my appetite? If you want to eat it yourself, I want to strip the skewers it. See, a few brothers are not interested in egg fried rice. Old Li, with a small head, had no choice but to walk up to Su Can's booth alone and shout loudly. Is the boss here? Give me a bowl of egg fried rice, just one bowl. Upon hearing someone calling her, Su Can leaned out from under the dining car and greeted her. Brother, a bowl of fried rice is 8 yuan. Unexpectedly, the boss of this kid's egg fried rice is really a kid. Li Hua was shocked and asked, Little boss, are you here to give me fried rice? Su Can nodded. Fortunately this guy didn't ask where his parents had gone. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to explain. Seeing Su Can nod, Li Hua was even more surprised, but his heart was more curious. He also wants to see what delicious food such a child can stir-fry. When I was as old as Su Can, let alone fried rice, I'm afraid I couldn't even shake the pan, could I? Scan the code immediately to transfer the money. And Su Can didn't say much. He just opened the heat and boiled the oil, then beat the eggs with one hand and evenly dispersed the eggs in the pot with a spatula. And try to separate the egg yolk from the egg white as much as possible. After the eggs are chopped and cooked, quickly put the scattered rice into the pot, stir-fry, and stir-fry. A set of operations that run smoothly. Just show it to a few college students. Damn it, this little boss, Nyo Pai, there's something there. My dad works as a chef for over a decade, and I feel like he's not as skilled as this kid. Not only that, but you smell it carefully. This fried rice is so delicious. I have never smelled such an attractive aroma of fried rice. In less than a minute, Su Can conquered these college students in an instant with his skilled skills. Put all kinds of seasonings into the pot, wait until fried rice is fully cooked, grab a handful of scallions, and this fried rice is finished. Then put the fried rice in the pot into a disposable food box. Just as the last spoonful of rice was being filled, Su Can played a flower trick by neatly pulling the spoon and putting all the leftover rice from the pot into the bowl. This scene. I was stunned by just showing a few college students. If they are teachers who often cook fried rice, they may still be able to accept it. Su Can, an 8-year-old child demonstrating such clean and neat craftsmanship, apart from being amazed, there is only astonishment left. Brother, you need fried rice. After packing the egg fried rice, Su Can handed out the fried rice with her feet on her feet. But Kunta Lao Li couldn't wait. He quickly smoked a pair of chopsticks and drove the fragrant egg fried rice into his mouth. Then, he felt as if someone had cast a spell on him. Close your eyes tightly, and you can only see that your lips are wriggling as if you are chewing carefully. For a while. The several college students standing next to them were all stunned. He quickly patted his shoulder and said, Lao Li, what's wrong with you? And at this point, Li Hua's tightly closed eyes shed 2 lines of tears and couldn't help but sigh. Mom, it's really delicious. Chapter 4. Small business, no squatting or occupation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Small business, no squatting or occupation. It's really not Li Hua's exaggeration. It's mainly Su Can's fried rice with eggs. It's really delicious. The technology of divine-level egg fried rice, together with acceptable high-quality food materials. Although it is quick-fried, the fried rice with eggs is still invincible. This instantly conquered Li Hua. Wocao, is it really so delicious? You didn't mean to pretend to deceive us, did you? Is it really fake? Give me a break. Several male college students around Li Hua raised doubts when they saw his enjoying appearance. Even worse, he pulled a pair of disposable chopsticks directly from Su Can's stall. He reached into Li Hua's bowl and snatched a bite. Result. Just the moment when lips and teeth collide with egg fried rice. This 1.8-meter tall and sturdy man is like an eagle. My eyes instantly moistened. This is definitely the best egg fried rice he has ever eaten in his life. Little boss. Give me a bowl of egg fried rice too. No scallions, add an extra egg. I heard the guest ordering with an almost roaring voice. Su-kan couldn't help but cover her ears. Helplessly, he said, sure, adding an extra egg costs 10 yuan. Then he grabbed 2 eggs with one hand. I don't know how Su-kan operated it either. Anyway, I just saw him wave his little hand. After hearing the collision of 2 eggs, a crisp sound was made. Afterwards, you can only see the egg liquid sliding from Su-kan's hand and flowing exactly into the iron spoon that Su-kan is holding in the other hand. The same method of frying, the only difference is that this egg fried rice has an extra egg, and no scallions. When Su-kan handed the egg fried rice to the college student, he has become a bit impatient waiting. Although the speed of Su-kan's frying method is already fast enough, it takes less than 3 minutes to finish. However, this brother is still like a starving ghost reincarnated. After receiving the egg fried rice, he began to dazzle his mouth. And a few other friends. Seeing this scene, if they don't understand how delicious the egg fried rice is, they are simply fools. Little boss, give me one too. Little friend, I also want one. Thank you, and also me. Can you give me a bowl of extra large, 1 extra yuan of rice and an extra egg? With these male college students competing to place orders. In front of Su-kan's small stall, it instantly became lively. Other college students saw that there were so many students waiting to eat in front of this small egg fried rice stall. For a moment, there was also interest and everyone gathered around to see what exactly happened. Result. When they saw that the owner of this small stall was just a little kid around 8 or 9 years old. Each moment revealed a shocked expression. Ah! Why is a child cooking fried rice? What about the adults at home? Don't tell me, this child really has some skills. He really has something to do with his hands. Wow, how delicious. How can this egg fried rice be so delicious? I also want a bowl. Can you stir fry it for my sister first, kids? Can you treat me to milk tea, sister? The last female college student who spoke is probably because Su-kan is young and easy to talk about. She deliberately cut in line and squeezed into the front of the crowd, ignoring everyone who is still waiting hard. In this moment, it caused public anger. Especially Li Hua, the first person to taste the delicious egg fried rice. Now after gobbling up his eggs and fried rice, they all stood honestly at the back of the crowd. Slowly move forward bit by bit. At this moment, I see that someone dares to cut in line. In an instant, this anger didn't burst out. Angry way. How can I talk to my little brother? Didn't you see everyone honestly queuing up? What's going on? Are you doing something special? Are you good? Looking and amazing. At this moment, everyone was surprised to find out. Originally, this girl who forcibly wanted to cut in line. Surprisingly, Song Menghan was selected as the flower of the finance and economics department. A few licking dogs couldn't hold back for a moment. Stand up and speak for Song Menghan. No, why are you speaking so aggressively? She's a girl, she has some privileges. What's wrong? Have you never heard of ladies first? Come on, Dream Han Goddess, stand here with me. I'll give you my place. I see who dares to have any objections. Seeing Song Menghan standing in front of the licking dog man with a proud expression on his face. For a moment, Li Hua and the others were so angry that their teeth were itching. But everyone willingly gave up their position while licking the dog, and there was nothing else they could say. However, no one expected it. Su-kan has been busy making fried rice. I actually noticed the situation here a long time ago. After all, he has mastered the magic egg fried rice skill. Don't say it's a dual purpose. Even if you close your eyes, you can stir up fried rice with eggs of all colors and flavors. At this moment, he said disdainfully. For small businesses, please abide by the queuing rules and eliminate bad phenomena such as cutting in and occupying the queue. That sister, please stand at the end of the queue with your brother who just gave you a seat, okay? As Su-kan has not yet reached the stage of voice change. The sound of speaking at this moment is grandma's. Very cute. But there is also an irresistible majesty within. Hear this sentence. Li Hua and others are so happy. A few people joined forces and forked the male-licking dog to the back of the queue. And Song Menghan was so angry. Rolling his white eyes and forking his waist, he said with a displeased face. It's just a small egg fried rice stand. How come there are so many broken rules? Can't I stop eating? After speaking, he angrily left the team. Seeing this scene, everyone was overjoyed, and you shouted one by one, you still have to be my little brother. Little brother, this boss can handle it. If someone cuts in line, he's really in a hurry. I declare that I will only eat the egg fried rice of the kid's family in the future. For a while, the public's admiration for Su-kan, a small and independent boss, was even more enhanced. And there are even better people. Surprisingly, he took out his phone and recorded what had just happened. And uploaded it to the campus forum. Smile to death, Song Menghan wants to jump the queue in front of the egg fried rice stall, but he is kicked out by the selfless kid brother instantly caused a huge uproar. After all, Song Menghan, as a departmental flower, still has some reputation at Jiangcheng University. At this moment, students are rushing into the forum one by one. I want to see what happened to make Song Xiaohua feel exhausted. Who is little brother? Why did he have a conflict with Song Menghan? I don't know, I just saw this post and I'm planning to come in and eat melon. Egg fried rice stall. The boss is a child. When did he open it? Why didn't I notice it before? What's going on? Where are the parties involved? Where are the onlookers? Come out and say a few words. That's right, how come you don't see anyone after giving a title? For a while, everyone was confused, they all came in to eat melons. Unexpectedly, after waiting for a long time, they didn't see the rest. It wasn't until a few minutes later that someone reluctantly posted a video saying, "Don't wait. Where is the blogger eating egg fried rice?" Originally, the owner of that post, originally for fun, casually posted it on the forum. Unexpectedly, Su-kan had already fried the egg fried rice just after he finished posting. He only took a bite from it. I regretted it in an instant. Why did I post this post myself? If this post is highly popular, it will definitely attract a lot of attention in an instant. At that time, everyone came to grab eggs and eat fried rice with themselves. Then he will have to live forever to eat such a delicious bowl of egg fried rice. And at this moment, he held the egg fried rice, which was sad, delicious and tangled. Surprisingly, it was captured by another passerby and uploaded to the bottom of his post. At this moment, he just wants to slap himself. Why should I post such a post with such cheap hands? Thank you for your support. Originally, this book was prepared to be cut due to poor collection. As a result, readers in the comments section left a big message saying that they think the author's writing is pretty good, so let's continue writing. If you feel that the writing is good, give the author some inspiration and data to motivate them to update. Since we have decided to persist, we will not cut it off. We will resume stable updates in the near future and post the update time in the future. Thank you again for your support. Chapter 5 Where Does Goddess Have Fried Rice? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Where Does Goddess Have Fried Rice? And it was only then that everyone discovered the clues. Originally. Under the video of this post. Dan Fan is the student who got the egg fried rice. At the moment, I am holding eggs and fried rice. They all exude a feeling of piety and holiness. That is a supreme respect for food. Now. No one cares anymore about why Song Menghan, the flour, was kicked out by Su Can. But instead, one after another, they were asking questions below. Why does this egg fried rice look so delicious? Do you have any old irons? Tell me how they taste. Yeah, just from the video, the color is very tempting. And at this point, students who have lined up to eat egg fried rice. Only then did they post one after another. Don't come. It tastes so bad, don't come eat it. You must believe me, this egg fried rice is dry and salty, 10,000 times worse than the egg fried rice in the school. Believe me, don't try again. I have already cleared the mine for you. The people who are staying at school at this moment are confused. The more you say that, the more we don't believe it, okay? For a while. Many students who were intrigued by fried rice with eggs left the campus and came to the roadside to look for Su Can's egg fried rice stand. And at this moment, the overnight meal in Su Can's rice bowl is almost bottoming out. And there were also very few leftover ingredients such as eggs. Su Can, who had originally planned to sell them until the evening, was preparing to sell a wave of snacks after the evening self-study ended. At this time, I was surprised to find that the ingredients prepared yesterday could make almost 100 portions of fried rice with eggs. In less than 2 hours, it had almost bottomed out. Originally. As Su Can's cooking becomes more proficient. By the time he got there, he could finish frying an egg fried rice in a minute or two. Sometimes, it's even 2 or 3 bowls stir-fried together. Of course. There won't be much change in taste. It is still a delicious fried rice with egg and flavor. And his customers. But there are not even 100. The group of college students who have always been gathered in front of his stall, repeatedly finish a portion and then queue up. Some even queue up while eating, just to get the second bowl as soon as possible. Especially Li Hua and his friends. I have already eaten 3 bowls of tripe. At the moment, I am still eager to arrange the 4th bowl of fried rice with eggs. If it weren't for the other classmates who couldn't bear it anymore and glared angrily. I'm afraid they really ran to the back and lined up again. Su can naturally notice this. The ingredients are about to sell out. He cleared his throat. Helplessly said. Today, the last egg fried rice was sold out and the stall was closed. I also noticed that one of my brothers and sisters ate several portions. Today is my first time setting up a stall, so forget it. From tomorrow, everyone can only buy 1 portion of fried rice with eggs. After all, eating too much is bad for the stomach and will lead to indigestion. Brothers and sisters should be considerate. At the same time, I will prepare more ingredients tomorrow, and there may also be new dishes. Thank you for your patronage. And when Su Can finished speaking this sentence, a hint of immense regret appeared on everyone's faces in an instant. It's okay that the team hasn't eaten egg fried rice yet. Mainly those students who have already received a bowl. At this moment, I am eagerly staring at this last one. Tears are almost streaming down the corners of my mouth. And just as everyone was puzzled. Who will be the lucky child of the last bowl of delicious egg fried rice? Only a familiar voice sounded. Ha ha ha, it's finally my turn. Goddess Menghan, Tian Go, live up to my expectations. Finally, I got to the last bowl of fried rice with eggs. At this moment, everyone heard the sound and looked around. Only then did I realize. Isn't this Song Menghan licking the dog that was forked out by Li Hua and a few others before? And what nobody expected was. This guy is really called Tian Go. What a big shot. Originally. That Song Menghan was in front of everyone. A proud appearance. On the spot, he shook his face and left. However, when she saw people holding a bowl of egg fried rice and eating it so delicious, even if there is a huge resentment. Finally, I bowed down to the attractive aroma of this bowl of egg fried rice. So he secretly cast a seductive glance at Tian Go. I hope this guy can help me make an egg fried rice. Seeing the proud appearance of Tian Go. Although everyone's teeth itch with hatred. But there's no way. After all, people line up to buy this bowl of egg fried rice. Even if there are all kinds of unpleasantness. At this moment, it can only be hidden in the heart. Su Kan was also speechless. Previously, Tian Go lost face in front of everyone. Being forked out of the team. I didn't expect it to be for Song Menghan. Surprisingly, he sneaked back and continued to queue up. Just give him this lick. When boiling sheep come, everyone has to shout, "Big brother." Black little tigers must call out their adoptive father when they come. But there's no way. They all lined up in front of them. And they didn't cut in the queue, nor did they occupy the queue. I can't help but do it for them. Therefore, Su can only finish the last egg fried rice. Then it was handed over to Tian Go. However, what nobody expected was, after Tian Go had worked hard to get this bowl of egg fried rice in line. Surprisingly, I was reluctant to give it to Song Menghan. Fragrant. It's really amazing. Loose rice, each grain evenly emitting a tempting golden luster. And the yellow and white egg fragments, like broken gold and white jade, embellished in between. Add the chopped green onion that was sprinkled when it was about to be cooked. In an instant, Tian Go surprisingly felt that Song Menghan was not as popular anymore. At least compared with this bowl of egg fried rice. Not even lifting shoes. Finally, he couldn't help but break open the disposable chopsticks before leaving the crowd. Ignoring the image, he took a mouthful of fried rice with eggs into his mouth. Seeing this scene, Song Menghan screamed on the spot. Tian Go. Didn't I ask you to help me buy food? Why did you eat it yourself? However, Tian Go was too lazy to listen to Song Menghan's hysterical screams. Still showing off my own food. It seems that there is nothing more important than finishing the bowl of fried rice with eggs. Get out of here. Before I eat this bowl of egg fried rice, I may still be greedy for beauty. But when I ate this bowl of egg fried rice, I had an epiphany. All beauty is like dreams and bubbles, only food cannot be let down. Tian Go, like a starving ghost, greedily showed off a bowl of egg fried rice. Afterwards, he held an empty bowl in both hands, tears in his eyes, and a devout expression on his face, like a meditative monk. From this moment on, beauty will no longer be a part of Tian Go's eyes. All of them are fake. Where does the beauty have this bowl of egg fried rice? And Song Menghan is almost going crazy. She never thought of it. I grabbed Tian Go's arm. Suppressing nausea, he shouted several times Gigi. In the end, Tian Go dried all the eggs fried rice by himself. This huge gap is completely incomprehensible to Song Menghan. Is this egg fried rice really so delicious? And the onlookers? He was amazed on the side. I couldn't help but laugh and say, I really didn't expect that this licking dog would even bite people. Chapter 6. Counting Harvests and Rewarding God-Level Braised Beef. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6 Counting Harvests and Rewarding God-Level Braised Beef Noodle Recipe. For a while, in front of this small roadside stall, there is a joyful atmosphere flowing. But Su Kan didn't have the heart to deal with any stories about licking dogs and goddesses. The first time I opened a stall today, I achieved such success. He was still thinking of going home quickly to settle how much money he had earned. Also, check if the system can provide other God-level recipes at the reward point. Also, we need to prepare the ingredients for tomorrow as soon as possible. Overnight dinner. If it were steamed on the same day, the taste might not be as good. Seeing Su Can alone, his small figure was busy in the dining car. Pack up various things and clean up. Li Hua and others couldn't bear to watch anymore. Little brother, let's also help you tidy up together, he quickly put his hand up and said with the leadership of Li Hua and others. Other college students are naturally unwilling to fall behind. They took the initiative to tidy up their leftover disposable lunch boxes and chopsticks, and helped Su Can clean up the garbage near the small stall. With everyone's help. In less than 10 minutes. The ground beside Su Can's little egg fried rice stall. It was swept clean in an instant. It seems like no one has set up a stall here before. After everything is tidy up, Su Can just pushed the tricycle and waved at everyone to thank them. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your support. See you tomorrow. Say it. I just pushed the tricycle and left unsteadily. Looking at his thin and frail little body. Several college students couldn't help but exclaim, little brother is really amazing. He came out to set up a stall and make money at such a young age. What about the adults at home? Why don't they come out to help? Anyway, I can't eat the food in that rundown cafeteria anymore. From now on, as long as I stay up at night, I'll just stand by the roadside and wait for my little brother to stand out. See you tomorrow, kid. Prepare more delicious food. I didn't have enough to eat today. After saying goodbye to these college students and college girls. When Su Can returns home. It's already past 9 o'clock. He first counted today's income. In terms of gross profit, I earned a total of 872 yuan. Su Can has only prepared about 100 portions of egg fried rice. And some people specifically request Su Can to add more eggs or more rice. This is only an additional profit of 72 yuan. After deducting the cost of buying groceries before, Su Can was not unaware and was startled by the calculation. I didn't expect to set up a stall on the first day. Surprisingly, I transferred over 600 yuan. Of course. This does not deduct the cost of household rice, as well as disposable utensils such as oil, salt, gas, etc. Even if all of these are included, I still earned at least 500 yuan today. Think of it here. Su Can couldn't help but clench her small fist. Sure enough. This stall is indeed a way out. You can earn 500 in a day. By the end of this month, it must be 15,000. The income from screwing screws in the factory is higher than in my previous life. And the second crucial thing. Nature is to check the lottery within the system mall. A total of 100 eggs fried rice were sold today. But because many people have just finished a bowl and then run to the back in line. This also leads to. Su Can actually only harvested over 50 delicious food points today. This is why Su Can restricts everyone to buy only one bowl of egg fried rice. It is not only to allow more people to taste their craft. It is also to allow oneself to earn more food points. However, when Su Can enters the lottery page of the system mall, I was surprised to find out. Today, due to Su Can's first lottery draw, we specially offered a 50% discount. And originally, only 10 food points could participate in a lottery. Now it has turned into 5 delicious food points that can be smoked once. Think of it here. Su Can no longer hesitated. Immediately said. System. Just give me 10 consecutive draws. Say it. He quickly covered his eyes. The lottery ended with a clanging sound in my ears. Only then did Su Can dare to secretly open a little finger gap. Take a glance at what good thing you have drawn. I didn't expect it. The first thing that catches the eye. It's just a shining golden book called God-level braised beef noodle technique. As is well known. In various lottery games, even if gold is not the highest grade, it must be the top rare reward. In other words, it's just that Su Can's soul sank and she shipped it. Good guy. It seems that this person has a good character today. Quickly accept the divine braised beef noodle technique. And the following rewards will be relatively ordinary. 5 servings of high-quality beef rib meat. Growing up in the field since childhood, the local yellow cattle have never heard music or enjoyed specialized massage, but the meat is fresh and tender, with a delicious taste and a suitable fat-to-lean ratio. It is a rare and excellent beef. A handmade old-fashioned kitchen knife with a thick back, thin mouth, sharp and easy to grind. Because it is handmade by a master, it is more in line with the chef's feel, and most importantly, the garlic will never break when patted. 2 bags of high-quality Wuchang rice, produced in He Province. Due to the large temperature difference between day and night in the country of origin, the rice grains produced are full, hard, and have a clear and transparent color. The rice grains are shiny and fragrant. 2 bags of high-quality handmade fine noodles with alkali. It seems that at a glance, these rewards. Su can spread his hands. It seems that today's dinner will be braised beef noodles. Moreover, the system also comes with 2 bags of Wuchang rice as a thoughtful gift, so it seems that there is no need to worry about the issue of rice as an ingredient recently. Since I have decided to make braised beef noodles to eat. Su can no longer hesitated and went straight to work. Firstly, I learned the technique of divine-level braised beef noodles, and a white light flashed through. All the knowledge about braised beef noodles flooded into Su Can's mind. Then it's time to pick up a piece of beef rib meat. It has to be said. This is definitely top-quality beef ribs, each serving weighs about 2 to 3 pounds. These 5 portions combined may weigh 13 to 14 pounds. It seems that the ingredients for tomorrow are completely sufficient. Don't underestimate this meager 10-pound beef. If it were to be some instant noodle manufacturers, such as a certain master, it would probably require their annual production. Su Can is also too lazy to prepare ingredients twice. Simply cut all 10 pounds of beef at once. Divide into evenly sized small pieces. It has to be said that the old-fashioned handmade kitchen knife gifted in this system's lottery is very useful. Whether its sharpness or feel, it's much stronger than the kitchen knife at home before. After cutting the beef ribs, proceed to the next step of blanching. There's not much to say about this step, anyone who is a chef will do it. It's just a little more meticulous, constantly stirring during the blanching process to fully extract the blood foam. After the blood foam is fully soaked, directly remove the beef and put it in cold water for later use. This step has the effect of tightening the meat texture. Then it's time to start boiling oil, add rock sugar, and stir-fry until sugar-colored. Until the rock sugar is stir-fried into a red sugar liquid, quickly add boiling water, and at this step, the sugar color is considered complete when stir-fried. Next, continue to boil the oil. Add Douban sauce, stir-fry until fragrant, until it turns into red oil, and then the key step is to add various deodorizing and enhancing spices. Scallions, ginger, star anise, cinnamon, fragrant leaves, Sichuan pepper, tangerine peel, Angelica dehurica, and dried chili peppers, etc. Continue to stir-fry until fragrant. It is not until the aroma is fully stimulated that the previously blanched beef is added. Stir-fry evenly. Finally, add the sugar-colored and braised sauce that was just stir-fried. Continue to stir-fry until the beef is colored, then add water to cover the beef. Add light soy sauce, pepper, and chicken essence in sequence, then bring to a boil again and stir well. This is the time to start the pot from the fire, pour it into the pressure cooker, adjust it to medium heat, and then press it for 40 minutes. However, at this point, the pot cannot be opened yet. We need to wait for about 20 minutes until the beef is fully flavored before pouring the beef from the pressure cooker into the pot. Harvest juice on fire. When stewing the juice until it thickens, turn off the heat and pour it into the pot. And the next step is to cook noodles. There is no need to elaborate too much on this step. Anyway, it's about boiling the water and then removing it after the noodles are cooked. Of course, a few slices of vegetables can also be added before the noodles are cooked. Then remove the noodles, add salt, pepper, chicken essence in sequence, and pour a spoonful of noodle soup. Of course, if conditions permit, pouring a spoonful of beef bone broth is the best. But Su can't find any beef bones this time. Therefore, using noodle soup as a substitute will not be much worse. Finally, cover a spoonful of braised beef with minced meat and add half a spoonful of beef soup. Mix well, this delicious bowl of braised beef noodles is already ready. Chapter 7. Purchasing ingredients, encountering a high school sister next door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Purchasing ingredients, encountering a high school sister next door. After the braised beef noodles are finished, Su didn't rush to eat noodles for now. But she took a beautiful sip of soup. Absolutely. That's amazing. This soup is mellow, with a rich beef aroma spreading between the lips and teeth. Moderate saltiness. After taking a sip of soup, I felt my whole body warm up. The feeling of hunger was instantly swept away. Beauty. It's really beautiful. Then Su picked up another piece of beef. Slowly delivered to the entrance. In just an instant, Su felt as if countless cows were running wildly in his mouth. Fragrance. It's so fragrant. This beef, due to being pressed in a pressure cooker, can be described as soft, rotten and flavorful at this moment. And it also comes with soup, and while chewing, the rich soup blooms in the mouth, almost making it delicious to the point of tears. Su couldn't even think about it. Tomorrow, bring this pot of braised beef with you to open a stall. What kind of craziness can those college students become? And ultimately, that's the most crucial aspect of the pasta. At this moment, every thin noodle is already soaked in beef soup. Su picked up a chopstick and sucked it in, instantly sucking a large mouthful of noodles into his mouth. At this moment, Su Can's first reaction was satisfaction. Absolute satisfaction. This noodles, soaked in beef broth, seem to be so fragrant that they want to arouse people's souls. And thanks to Su Can's precise control over the temperature of the noodles. At this moment, the noodles are completely freshly cooked before being pulled out, perfectly preserving the freshness and strength of the noodles. Add this rich beef soup. It's just a taste feast. Even Su has the most picky absolute taste buds. At this moment, there is no fault with this bowl of braised beef noodles. Slurping a bowl of noodles down the stomach. Su supported her plump belly. I just feel that the most wonderful thing in life is just that. Although he is only an 8-year-old child in this world. But only with this skill of fried rice with eggs and braised beef noodles. It's enough for him to survive like a fish in water in this society. Think of it here. Su couldn't help but raise the corner of his mouth slightly. Although parents in this world do not have much emotional attachment. But wait for him to do a good job in the small stall business. If you have paid off the remaining 300,000 yuan of your mortgage, then you will have saved the last inheritance left by your parents. Since that's the case, what should be the appropriate price for this bowl of braised beef noodles? After some consideration, Su finally decided to set the price starting at 30 yuan. Because beef on the market is very expensive now, usually weighing 671 pounds. After cooking more than 10 pounds of beef, there may be only about 7 or 8 pounds left. In addition, Su cuts quite large pieces, and if given a spoonful, he can give about 2 liang of beef. Calculate from the cost. 10 portions here are about 15 pounds of beef. So, that means these beef alone are worth 1,050 yuan. 70 yuan multiplied by 15 pounds of beef equals 1050. After the beef is boiled and shrunk, there is only about 7 or 8 pounds left. If calculated based on 8 pounds, it is 80 taels. So, in other words, the value of just 1 or 2 beef is already around 13 yuan. Therefore, according to the highest price, 70 yuan per kilogram of beef is calculated. A spoonful of 2 taels of beef is about enough to make a little profit. After all, noodles, spices, and so on also require costs. However, prices generally fluctuate, and beef priced at 70 yuan per kilogram is considered very good beef. Therefore, Su can estimated that if he ordered a bowl of braised beef noodles at 30 yuan, it would be about the same as fried rice with eggs. He could earn about 5 yuan a bowl. Perhaps it may be even less, but after all, the raw materials this time are included in the system, which is equivalent to pure profit. Therefore, after finishing the beef noodles beautifully, Su can worked hard for a while and steamed a large bowl of rice for tomorrow. This time, he prepared a whole 200 portions of rice. After all, 100 copies were sold out in less than 2 hours, and I always feel a bit unsatisfied. The next day, Su Can got up early and went to the market to purchase ingredients. It was the same old lady before. This time, Su Can decided to sweep away all the dirty eggs in her hand. I also bought some beef bones, handmade noodles, and some other vegetables. This time, Su Can bought a full 700 yuan worth of ingredients. Big and small bags. I almost couldn't bring it over. And just as Su Can struggled to move these things onto the tricycle, suddenly, I heard a crisp and pleasant voice coming from behind. Su Can. I heard someone shout my name. Su Can instinctively turned his head. As a result, I saw a beautiful figure wearing a high school uniform with a lollipop in her mouth. Then, I haven't waited for him to react yet. My head was pressed against a warm and fragrant soft jade. It's really you, Su Can. I'm sorry, I've also heard about your family's situation. Yesterday afternoon, I went to your house to find you, but after knocking on the door for a while, there was no response. Don't be sad, everything will pass. Squeezing out of that warmth with difficulty, Su Can only then remembered. The girl in front of me looks 17 or 18 years old. It seems to be my sister next door. My name is Lian Qingxue. Like myself, I am also a hard-working person. It's not a bloody drama about parents dying together. However, she has a younger brother and her parents have a very bad relationship, and the family values sons over daughters. After their parents divorced, they both felt that this eldest daughter was a burden and both sides were fighting for custody of her younger brother. But Lian Qingxue couldn't do anything about it. I can only live with my elderly grandmother. Even her tuition fees were picked up by her grandmother, one bottle at a time. Miss Qingxue. Aren't you in your 3rd year of high school? Why don't you go to school? Su Can asked in surprise. It seems that this question has touched Lian Qingxue's heart. I saw her expression instantly darken. Helplessly, he said, I don't want to study anymore. The tuition fees for this year have not been paid yet, and I don't want my grandmother to work too hard. It's better to go out early and earn money to support oneself. Hear this sentence. Su Can's eyebrows furrowed instantly. In his impression, Lian Qingxue's academic performance has always been very good, and she consistently ranks among the top 10 in the school. If you give up the opportunity to take the college entrance exam just because of the tuition fee of 1 or 2,000 yuan, that's really a pity. Grandma can't afford to spend so much money, can she? Why don't you mind if your parents want it? Su Can asked helplessly. But as soon as he said this, he realized he had said the wrong thing. If such a simple problem could be solved, he probably wouldn't have encountered Lian Qingxue here today. What do they care about? They only have a younger brother in their eyes. Lian Qingxue pursed her lips and said coldly. Immediately, she changed her gentle face and smiled at Su Can. It's you, why are you buying so many vegetables? There are so many eggs and noodles left, are you going to set up a stall? Come on, sister, help you. Say it. Lian Qingxue helped Su Can put all the ingredients into the tricycle. And Su Can instantly became much more relaxed. Suddenly, a bold idea emerged in his mind. Then he smiled and said. Yes, Sister Qingxue. I sell eggs and fried rice to make money by myself at night. Chapter 8. Second stall, recruiting Lian Qingxue to do. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Second time setting up a stall, recruiting Lian Qingxue as a helper. You. Selling eggs and fried rice. Still making money. Lian Qingxue widened her eyes in surprise. I can't believe it was said by an 8-year-old child. Su Can naturally knew that the other party didn't believe him, but he still nodded. Then he said. Did you have breakfast, Miss Qingxue? Upon hearing Su Can's question, Lian Qingxue instinctively shook her head. But this is the gurgling sound coming from inside the stomach. But he betrayed her. In a moment, Lian Qingxue's face turned red and she wished she could find a crack in the ground to crawl in. If I haven't had breakfast yet, can you help me ride this tricycle home, Sister Qingxue? Su Can said with a faint smile, not a hint, I just want you to taste my craft. Because he is only 8 years old. Therefore. Yesterday, Su Can pushed a tricycle to set up a stall at Jiangcheng University. After all, you have to abide by traffic rules. An 8-year-old child riding a bike looks too dangerous. Lian Qingxue was skeptical and skeptical. But anyway, she's also idle now with nothing to do. He took the initiative to help Su Can and rode a tricycle, carrying his neighbor brother and a bunch of ingredients back to the downstairs of the community. And he also kindly helped Su Can move all the ingredients back home. And after returning home, looking at the altar placed in the hall, Lian Qingxue's eyes turned red as she touched Su Can's head and comforted her softly, it's okay, don't be too sad. At the same time, I glanced again at the large basin of overnight food placed in the kitchen. There is also braised and cooked braised beef with minced meat. I just told Su Can that he wanted to set up a stall, and I slightly believed it. After arriving home, Su Can was not idle either. The first step is to open the fire and prepare to cook beef bone broth. At the same time, place the minced beef on the other side of the stove for heating. Then we found another induction cooker. Prepare to boil water and cook noodles to eat. And Lian Qingxue had nothing to do, so she could only stand on the side and watch this little brother busy inside and outside. Mainly because Su Can himself hasn't had breakfast yet. Plus, he has an absolute sense of taste. So he couldn't get used to some steamed buns and mantou outside. In the morning, it's not enough to eat fried eggs and fried rice. Simply boil 2 bowls of braised beef noodles and entertain Lian Qingxue. Soon. Under Su Can's busy schedule, 2 bowls of braised beef noodles were out of the pot. Qingxue, there's nothing to entertain at home. How about trying this bowl of beef noodles? I'm going to set up a stall to sell this tonight. Su Can smiled and signaled that Lian Qingxue could move her chopsticks now. The latter has already endured to the limit. This bowl of braised beef noodles, in terms of color and aroma, is definitely more fragrant than any braised beef noodles that Lian Qingxue has seen anywhere outside. Plus, she skipped class from school today and hasn't even had breakfast yet. At this moment, I am even more hungry. I heard Su Can say he can start now. Lian Qingxue couldn't bear it anymore. She quickly picked up her chopsticks and began to crack her face. However, just taking a sip, even Qingxue felt an unprecedented warmth and satisfaction. Delicious. It's so delicious. This is simply the ultimate taste in the world. The combination of each ingredient is just right, and each noodle is covered in rich broth. Even Qingxue was completely intoxicated by the tempting aroma of this bowl of beef noodles. And all the grievances I had suffered before are now completely eradicated. True cuisine is something that can make people feel happy and joyful. Looking at this beautiful older sister, she had a wolfing and disdainful eating posture. Su Can could only reach out his little hand and gently pat her back. Eat slowly, Sister Qingxue, don't keep it hidden, she comforted softly. I don't even know what's wrong with Qingxue. Tears streamed down my face one by one. I don't know if this noodles are too delicious, or if it's been too long since I've been comforted like this. About a few minutes later, Lian Qingxue's first bowl of noodles has finally been finished. The little girl didn't even let go of the soup, not a drop left, and drank it clean. Finally, I wiped my mouth and looked at the small bowl of beef noodles on Su Can's side with a lingering interest. Regarding this, Su Can didn't say anything. With just a slight smile, he pushed his own share away. With a light smile, she said, Sister Qingxue probably hasn't eaten enough yet. Eat my bowl as well. Take your time eating, don't worry. I'll discuss something with you after you finish eating. Although Lianqing Snow Monster is embarrassed, there is no way. This braised beef noodle dish is really delicious. Although she wanted to refuse, she still took Su Can's small bowl of beef noodles with a very displeased hand. However, this time Lian Qingxue ate more politely. After all, I just ate a bowl of noodles and filled my stomach. You can taste it carefully, this bowl of braised beef noodles is delicious. And Su Can ran into the kitchen and worked hard for a while, and this time, he brought out 2 bowls of noodles. About when Su Can came out of the kitchen, Lian Qingxue has just finished eating the noodles. This time I was quite full, my belly was bulging and I couldn't hold on any longer. Seeing Su Can bring out 2 more bowls of noodles, Lian Qingxue quickly waved her hand and said, Brother Su Can, I really can't eat anymore. Su Can gave her a cold look and said in silence, Who said I'll give you something to eat? Help me bring this bowl to Grandma. And then, if you're free tonight, help me set up a stall together, right over at Jiangcheng University. You have also tasted my craft, Sister Qingxue. It's not a problem to earn a little money. I will give you a salary of 2,000 yuan per month when the time comes. How about that? Besides, just wake up a little earlier every morning and help me go to the market to buy groceries. It shouldn't delay you from attending school. Su Can said seriously. Although after strengthening his physique, his strength is no different from that of an adult. After all, age is here, and it would be much better if Lian Qingxue came to help. Originally, Lian Qingxue didn't believe it. After all, such a young child is already able to earn money independently. No one can believe this when it's said. After tasting Su Can's craftsmanship today, Lian Qingxue was impressed, so I'm afraid I'll have to sell this bowl of beef noodles out loud. She has never tasted such delicious braised beef noodles before. Add. Her current family conditions are indeed somewhat difficult. Grandma picks up bottles outside every day, but she can't sell them for much money. It's not easy just to support their grandparents and grandchildren to survive. Think of it here. Lian Qingxue nodded heavily. Okay, I'll go home and discuss with my grandmother. If she agrees, I'll come over and help you. Say it. Lian Qingxue hurriedly carried the braised beef noodles and went out. She can't wait to let her grandmother taste Su Can's top-notch craftsmanship. After Lian Qingxue left, Su Can has been busy for almost another morning. Preparing ingredients is a time-consuming task. Soon, time passes by minute by second. In the middle, Su Can took a short rest and took a nap on the sofa. Until a knock on the door sounded. Su Can opened the door and saw that Lian Qingxue had run over. Su Can, I have explained the situation to the teacher. Now I can come over to help you every day after school at 6 o'clock, and then go back to school before 8 o'clock in the evening to finish the remaining evening's self-study. Hear this sentence. Su Can also smiled knowingly and nodded, saying, "Okay, now it's almost time, let's prepare to set up a stall." Chapter 9. Starting from setting up a stall, isn't this beef too delicious? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Starting from setting up a stall, isn't this beef too delicious? At the same time. At the entrance of Jiangcheng University. That's where Su Can set up a stall yesterday. A group of college students and college girls have consciously formed a long line. This is quite embarrassing for the nearby vendors. What is this special about? How inexplicably did a group of college students run out? I don't buy anything either. Just leave it neatly lined up on the roadside. And the first ones are naturally Li Hua and others. Oh, why hasn't this kid come yet? My buddy skipped even the afternoon class. Just wait to eat this bowl of egg fried rice. And the other few college students also followed suit. Yes. Since I ate the fried rice made by my little brother last night, nothing tastes good today. Originally, the dishes in the small cafeteria were all stir-fried by the masters one pot at a time. Although it was a bit expensive, the taste was still good. However, after eating the egg fried rice made by little brother yesterday, I can only say that the craftsmanship of those masters is like a brother compared with little brother. The child has not eaten for 2 meals and is waiting for this bowl of egg fried rice to save his life. Watching these college students with their hungry chests pressed against their backs. The other vendors were also confused. Aren't our grilled cold noodles and pancakes fragrant? How come these college students don't even take a glance? Just as everyone was waiting for the flowers to almost wither and eager to see through. I saw a small tricycle approaching at the intersection. Children's egg fried rice, the big characters shine in the light of the light board. In an instant. These college students only feel as if they have seen the holy light. However, when they saw that Su Can was not sitting on the tricycle, but as a seemingly innocent little beauty who looked around 17 or 18 years old, each one suddenly showed a disappointed expression. Ah! Where's little brother? Is this the elder sister of little brother? Won't he come to fried rice today? I cried, but I've been looking forward to it all day. In an instant. This group of college students only feel like crying without tears. And it wasn't until Su Can poked his little head out of the back seat of the car. Many talents feel it. The hanging heart has finally come to an end. Sleeping slot. Are you here, kid? How many eggs fried rice have you prepared today? I want to eat 5 bowls. Can you pull you down? Didn't you hear what brother kid said yesterday? One person is limited to 1 bowl, thinking about some good things. Why didn't you say you want to eat 10 bowls? Hurry up and open a stall, little brother. The younger brothers are waiting for you and are almost starving. A few college students clamored and chattered. Suddenly, the atmosphere became lively. At the same time, the most shocking thing was Lian Qingxue. Although she had already believed that Su Can had the ability to set up a stall and sell food, she could never have imagined that Su Can's business was so hot. This special person hasn't even arrived yet, and surprisingly, there is a long queue at the school gate. Just looking at the number of people in the queue, it's impossible to run at least 50 today. At this moment, Su Can's childish voice came from the back seat. Qingxue, what are you doing in a daze? Help me set up a stall quickly. Look at this group of brothers and sisters who are starving, they have stars in their eyes. What Su Can said is the truth. He has seen several girls who bought eggs and fried rice yesterday. They are so hungry that they can hardly stand on their feet. Lian Qingxue quickly helped Su Can set up the stall. She also often works at home. It's not a little princess who doesn't touch the spring water with 10 fingers. It has to be said. Having a helper here is indeed much more comfortable. It originally took 10 minutes to set up the stall. I have already tidied up everything in less than 5 minutes today. After the stall is set up, Su Can first serve the broth of braised beef. This thing is all cold, it must be heated up as soon as possible. At the same time, Lian Qingxue took out a board. And have it write a line of big characters on it. New product. Braised beef noodles. 31 servings. See these words. Li Hua and others couldn't hold back in an instant. Quickly approaching, he asked, "Kid, did you also make this braised beef noodles?" Su Can nodded and said, "Of course, I didn't do it. Who else could have done it?" Unexpectedly, Li Hua then asked, "Brother Kid, there is no conflict between the braised beef noodles and the limit of egg fried rice. I mean, if you buy egg fried rice, can you still buy a bowl of beef noodles? You can see it. Li Hua is very eager for this bowl of beef noodles. But I was worried that there was no egg and fried rice was delicious." Su Can only waved her hand and said, "No conflict, everyone is limited to one bowl of fried rice with eggs and one bowl of beef noodles. No more." Su Can originally wanted to say that beef noodles are also limited and conflict with egg fried rice, so that he can get more food points. But when it comes to the appetite of these college students yesterday. Kakakwang Xian 3 bowls of fried rice with eggs. I'm really worried that they won't have enough to eat. So Su Can ultimately decided not to conflict, and being able to eat is also a good thing. Upon hearing this, Li Hua and his team finally have no worries. Very smartly threw out 50 yuan and said, "Brother Kid, an egg fried rice with double eggs and a bowl of beef noodles, keep the change." Upon hearing this, Su Can gave this kid a silent glance. "You don't need to change it anymore, did the money come from your house due to strong winds?" He quickly said to Lian Qingxue, "Sister Qingxue, just take the money in change, and leave the cooking to me." Lian Qingxue quickly nodded and took out a notebook from her backpack. Yesterday, Su Can was too busy to keep accounts, and even Qingxue was a girl, so she was much more careful in this regard. "Okay, double egg fried rice, plus a bowl of braised beef noodles, a total of 40 yuan for you, and 10 yuan for you, brother." After Lian Qingxue accepted Li Hua's 50 yuan and gave him 10 yuan in change. Su Can's first business deal today has officially begun. It's the same fried rice method of flowing clouds and rivers. Even Qingxue, who collects money on the side, is stunned. She didn't expect her 8-year-old younger brother next door to have such a superb craftsmanship. This bowl of double egg fried rice has been cooked by Su Can in less than 2 minutes. But the water hasn't boiled yet, so braised beef noodles need to wait a little longer. "Brother, you need fried rice with eggs. You can wait about 10 minutes to get the braised beef noodles. The pot has just started, and the water hasn't boiled yet." "Say it." Su Can began to stir-fry another bowl of rice. Basically, all the male college students who came here yesterday chose an egg fried rice and a bowl of braised beef noodles. And girls with small appetite are more conflicted. Because the egg fried rice is really delicious, but they also want to try the braised beef noodles. You can't choose both, like boys do. If you eat like this, you will definitely gain weight. Finally, Lian Qingxue stood aside and said, "Sister, believe me, this braised beef noodle dish is absolutely unbeatable and delicious. Really, I've tasted it myself." Hear this sentence. That girl finally made a choice and ordered a bowl of braised beef noodles. Su Can is laughing to herself because Lian Qingxue hasn't eaten her own egg fried rice. She will also be hesitant like this girl when the time comes. After waiting for about 10 minutes, the hot water in Su Can's side finally boiled. During the fried rice break, Su Can didn't even look at it. He reached out and put a handful of hand-made noodles into the boiling water. Subsequently, his hands danced like butterflies, quickly sprinkling various seasonings into the bowl. Then he scooped up a spoonful of beef bone broth, washed these seasonings well, and quickly scooped up the noodles and put them into a bowl. Finally, grab a spoonful of braised beef with minced meat, and this steaming bowl of braised beef noodles is considered finished. At the moment of uncovering the lid of the braised beef sauté pot, everyone felt as if they had seen the golden light. And the irresistible aroma of beef instantly filled the entire entrance of Jiangcheng University. Fragrance. It's so fragrant. This bowl of beef noodles is simply fragrant to the heart of a person. I can't do it, I must have a bowl of braised beef noodles today, otherwise I will die in peace. Chapter 10. The owners of other stalls can't bear it anymore. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The owners of other stalls can't bear it anymore. In an instant, everyone was attracted by the overwhelming aroma of beef. Even college students browsing other roadside stalls. At this moment, I couldn't help but suck my nose. Close your eyes slightly and look up. To trace the origin of this aroma. In theory, 31 bowls of beef noodles. It really can't be considered cheap. But at this moment, no one thinks this bowl of beef noodles is not worth 30 yuan. Just like this fragrance. How many times do we hear it in the world? Well, I've changed my mind. I really want to change the egg fried rice into beef noodles. A girl cried and said. And Li Hua said humbly on the side. Sister, I suggest you find a boyfriend on the spot now, maybe he's willing to share the beef noodles with you. As he spoke, he didn't forget to straighten his strong chest towards the girl. As the first customer to come and queue up today, he deserves to enjoy this first bowl of beef noodles. Hear this sentence. The girl's eyes instantly lit up with small stars. Can't help but ask, Brother Li Hua, I'm willing to be your girlfriend. Would you like to share a bite of beef noodles with me? It should be kept on a regular basis. Upon hearing these words, Li Hua's soul wished it could float. But at this moment, he could only say humbly, that's definitely not possible. How can I give up food for the sake of beauty? I didn't expect Li Hua to be so cheap. This girl is so angry that she stomps her feet in hatred in place. And at this moment, Li Hua finally received his bowl of braised beef noodles as he wished. Just picked it up from Su Can's hand. He couldn't wait to pick up a chopstick, without considering how hot the beef noodles were. He quickly stuffed it into his mouth. Even though he has just finished eating an egg fried rice. But at this moment, Li Hua only felt that every pore on his body was happy. Delicious. It's really delicious. And this warm and cozy side seems to elevate the whole person from the inside out. As a northerner, Li Hua originally thought. I have already tasted the ultimate delicacy of noodles in this world. But at this moment, in front of this bowl of braised beef noodles, he was still defeated. If culinary skills in the world are divided into one stone, then Su Can alone has 8 dough. I thought egg fried rice was invincible in the world. I didn't expect there to be even more ultimate deliciousness. This braised beef noodle dish is simply a masterpiece in the world. Li Hua couldn't help but shed tears and sighed. At this moment, he only hates his limited vocabulary and cannot describe the deliciousness of this beef noodle dish. And the other few friends saw Li Hua with such a posture. At this moment, there is even more anticipation for beef noodles. Finally, after they received their own beef noodles from Su Can one by one. That's why I have to sigh. This is simply the best braised beef noodles they have ever tasted in their lifetime. And Su Can's business is still continuing. After seeing several people who had tasted beef noodles before, they all gave a thumbs up at the same time. The remaining girls have finally strengthened their confidence. More and more girls are also choosing to order a single dish of braised beef noodles. And Su Ken was constantly busy living, and at this moment, he didn't feel tired either. After all, even Qingxue is almost on the verge of receiving money, and every time she sells a piece of rice or a bowl of noodles, she can actually see the profits. Who would think it's hard? What Su Ken didn't expect was, his business here is too hot. This led to him being targeted by some other street vendors. At first, everyone just felt strange. Which little doll from this family actually ran out to set up a stall before the age of 10? And yesterday, the excitement at Su Can's booth made all the vendors feel a little uneasy. It seems that people cannot judge their appearance, and the sea cannot be measured. A bowl of fried rice with eggs alone can attract the repeated patronage of Jiangcheng University, a group of college students who scramble to come. This kid. I'm afraid he will be a formidable enemy of everyone in the future. But fortunately, yesterday, Su Ken didn't prepare many ingredients. It was sold out in less than 2 hours. Even if there are other students who come after hearing the news. After seeing Su Ken finish his stall and leave, it can only be a disappointment to purchase various snacks and delicacies from other stalls. But today is different. When I saw a big pot full of overnight rice and a big bag of handmade noodles, everyone realized that this little guy was probably preparing twice as many ingredients as yesterday. Today, at least this can supply more than 200 college students with a purchase volume. You should know. There are many students in Jiangcheng University. But not everyone is willing to spend time running out of school to eat at roadside stalls. The maximum number of people in one night will not exceed 800. Su Ken alone accounts for a quarter of this. What do the remaining vendors eat? Drink the northwest wind. So, after some discussion, everyone decided to send 2 representatives. It's not about smashing a scene, after all, everyone is an adult, so we shouldn't argue with a child. But they just don't agree. How could an 8-year-old child continuously attract so many college students to visit? Finally, after a fierce competition, the 2 carefully selected representatives are the bald old Zhao who has sold eggs and fried rice for 10 years in front of Jiangcheng University, and a noodle vendor named Masterly, who came from Shaanxi province and started selling noodles here. These 2 try Su Can's egg fried rice and braised beef noodles respectively. They want to see what skills this 8-year-old child really has. Surprisingly, they snatched away all their customers.